the anticipation.
It says it's live. This is how I know it's live.
It does say it's live. All right, I think we're live, Harris. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So this is the very first episode of How Email Changed My Life, episode 1, with me and my invisible co-host, Brian Edmondson, who is starting his first day of his last semester of law school today. So he's not able to join us for episode 1, but long-standing friend of both of us, Harris Fellman, is with us for How Email Changed My Life. And Harris and I go way back. I'm Telman Knudsen. This is Harris Fellman. My first name rhymes with his last name. And we have a friend who's no longer in the marketing scene from back in the day named Keith Wellman. And we would sometimes bump into each other at marketing events and stuff. And it was funny to have 3 rhyming names all in the same room together. Harris, how are you doing today?
I'm great. It was also Wellman, Tellman, Fellman, so it was WTF. That was the other. That was the other bonus. Right? Can you wait? Here, I want to give you something. Say the first episode of How Email Changed My Life again.
How Email Changed My Life. Yes. Good timing. Good timing.
Woo. Woo! Don't do this. Don't try this at home, kids. I start off most of my shows. That doesn't matter. Yes.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
I start off a lot of my magic shows with one of those. It's a lot more impressive when you can see the whole thing. But I say sorry. I usually do 100,000. I say euros because I live in Spain. 100,000 euros of pyrotechnics, fireworks, but they won't let me do it in this little bar. So pop.
That's right. That's right.
That's my comedy. That's the level of comedy that I am.
It's extreme. Harris is awesome. So Harris is a serial entrepreneur. He owns a email traffic business called Traffic for Me. He is a very active magician and comedian and stage performer, and has built a 7th career or something as a comedian and performance magician. And I know you're building that business and figuring that out. And Harris and I go way back to a couple of years maybe after I got started. And Harris, I know you had previous businesses, and then you wanted to get into the email game. And so we have about a little bit less than half an hour right now. And what I want to ask you is, how did email change your life? Like what happened? Like what's your story about email, and how has it ultimately affected you and your life, your business, your livelihood, the way you think about the world, the way things work for you now? Like what's up?
So before we do that, I wanted to do a magic trick. Can I do a magic trick and then answer that question?
You can.
Okay, we'll do a quick magic trick, okay? I have this. You familiar with the deck of cards, Tellman?
Yeah, my computer is doing something really weird. The screen just went black. It appeared. Oh.
I didn't do it.
And now my camera went off.
You are now frozen as well, for me.
All right.
Hey, everybody. I can't.
Just keep going, and I will. I'm going to leave and come back.
Okay. I will keep going. I'll talk a little bit about how email changed my life, and then I'll do the magic trick when you come back.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So, or I'll say how we met. So basically, I had some ideas back in 20 years ago. I don't know, 2004, 3, 4, 4. Yeah, I had a daughter, so 4 or 5 or 6, and I was trying to figure out a way to make money online. Now, I had done email in a very spammy way before all that, and I stopped because there were laws in 2004 that came through, and I was like, well, this isn't going to work anymore, and so I stopped. I'm over exaggerating saying spamming, but I'm just making it easy. About 2006, I was doing trying to figure out how to make money online, just like purely with permission-based marketing and stuff like that. But there was all sorts of kooky ideas that I had, and then I fell on one with a friend of mine named Merlin Holmes, called the 12-week intensive. We called it the 12-week intensive. We saw what Tellman was doing. Oh no, now you can see my messy background. We were going to stay tight. No one was going to have to see my messy background. So we were looking at what Tellman was doing, I think with something called List Crusade, I want to say. And we were like, oh, we're going to do what Tellman's doing. It turns out we didn't do what Tellman was doing, but that's not for lack of thinking that we thought we knew what Tellman was doing. So what we did was we created a teleseminar series. A teleseminar is kind of like what a webinar is now without the video. So people would call in on a phone and listen in to this teleseminar, and we'd have hundreds of people on a teleseminar. And we had this idea to do a teleseminar series where we would interview people that were gurus with internet marketing, so gurus, the self-proclaimed gurus or what have you. So we had Gary Halbert on, we had Mark Joyner on, we had Tellman, and we contacted these people, and 12 of them, because it was the 12-week intensive, and we said, listen, Yannick Silver was a big influence on it. Conrad J. Levinson, I'm naming some people that are dead. Gary Halbert's gone now, and Jay Levinson's gone as well from Guerrilla Marketing. And we got them to agree to be on this teleseminar series and promote the teleseminar series. Not just the week that they were on, but also the week that the 3 weeks moving beforehand. So basically, we created this thing called Teleseminar Series. We thought we were doing it the same way Tellman was doing List Crusade, except we had the dumb luck of asking people to promote beforehand. So what that ended up doing was it ended up creating a list of about 8,000 people before the teleseminar series even started. So how did email change my life? I literally, the first way that I really made money with an online venture with affiliate marketing was by building a list before I had anything to sell. And then on each teleseminar, we would interview one of those people and we would sell their thing and get an affiliate commission for it. So that's how Tellman and I met. We thought we were kind of stealing his idea in a way, so we didn't necessarily reach out to him right away. But I think somehow we found each other, and he's like, "Oh, this is awesome," as Tellman can do. And you guys are doing what? No, I didn't do that. That's incredible. And we did it, and that was working. And he introduced me to Mark Joyner, and Mark said, "How come you don't have anything on the thank you page?" I'm like, what do you mean? We're just telling people thank you for signing up, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. And he I'd say we had about 1,500 subscribers before we put something on the thank you page. And wasn't it nice of Mark to offer one of his products to put on the thank you page?
Of course it was.
So we promoted
Simpleology, probably.
No, it was pre-Simpleology, my friend. It was viral marketing something.
Oh, did we do viral marketing chemistry set?
Something like that. But
that
it was something like, hey,
Mark and I created together. Yeah.
It was something like, this is the perfect product to complement the learning that you're about to go on for the next 12 weeks. And we made, God, I don't have the numbers in front of me anymore. But so on the next 6,000 people, we made thousands of dollars before where we thought we were going to start making money, which was on the teleseminar. And how do we do that? Just by getting people. So other people were using their email lists to get people to opt into our email list. After they opted into our email list, the only reason they were on the email list was so that they would be notified of the weekly teleseminar.
That's right.
But before that, we said, hey, this is the perfect complement, viral marketing toolkit, whatever it was. And we made, I want to say 8,000, but it's weird that I'm saying 8,000 subscribers and $8,000. It was definitely close to 10,000. And then the whole teleseminar series, which was purely an email list and 1 week an interview every week, made, I think it did like 160,000 in sales, and we made roughly half of that over the course of 3 months. And that was the first time that both me and Merlin, who makes millions of dollars now online, have made money. But how does email change my life? Dude, I mean, I live in Spain. I can live anywhere I want. I am living the life that we all promise people that they can live with the, email lifestyle, internet marketing lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. So much so that eventually I ended up doing, helping people do JV swaps with email lists, and I got a percentage of that. And I didn't like it because I liked it because I'm leveraging other people's lists and resources. But what I didn't like is I would do the same amount of work to get that hustle going, and then it may or may not convert. So then I might be left with no money.
Right.
And that would happen once in a while, where I would get very little money sometimes for my efforts. So I ended up transitioning into being a woman. No, transitioning into doing paid traffic. So now and that's what I've been doing for 10 years with Traffic for Me. And it's all email, by the way. I mean, it's ridiculous to say, how did email change my life? I mean, email is responsible for why I'm able to live the lifestyle I live. And by the way, it's not Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces, and I don't live in a mansion. I live in a very nice flat in the middle of Barcelona. Yeah. So anyway, email has given me total freedom, and for the freedom to start. Like, I wasn't a magician when you met me. I wasn't a magician 10 years ago. I started this 5 years ago because my business was pretty hands off. I was leveraging other people's. What's funny? You're not going to believe this. You probably don't know this. So when I first started Traffic for Me, it was just this gradual thing. Look, I had my own little private list of 300 people that I could contact, and I would contact them via email, and I would make it look very personal. I mean, to a point where they're like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" They didn't realize I was sending it to all 300 of them. When I built the company, I didn't have an email list. I didn't have a way for people to opt in. I was just like, come buy my stuff. And for 2 years, I had Traffic for Me without its own email list. It's without its own internal email list. And that was a total, ridiculous, right? I'm in email for 15 years, and my own email marketing reselling company didn't have its own list of prospects. So that was a game changer once we started building a list.
Right.
And then in a negative way, September of 2021, my partner accidentally deleted our email list.
It's crazy that this stuff actually happens, right?
And we were able to recover it, but we didn't recover it with the engagement levels. So basically, we had a list of, say, 20,000 pretty well engaged people, and I would mail to it and have an expectation of 300 to 500 people showing up to any sale that I had. And then when we recovered the list, I had a list of 45,000. So 25 dead emails that I didn't want to mail to, but I didn't know which was which. So I pretty much had to offline all that and mail to those and get the engagers out of that. But my list is now less than 10,000, even now after recovering it. And but I have a lot better best practices of like cleaning and only mailing to the engagers. And you really have to do that nowadays. You can't, like, once you get more than 1,000, more than 2,000 emails on a list, you have to start like paying attention to, like, making sure you're not continuing to hammer people that aren't opening the emails for 6 months. After 3 to 6 months, you don't mail them every day.
That's right.
Stuff like that. But anyway, those are things that we 10,000 hour email folks, have learned.
Well, so a couple questions, Harris. First of all, I'd like you to give some thought to where we should tell people to go if they want to check out more of your stuff. And we can pop those into some banners in a minute. Secondly, you've had a few different areas and situations in which email kind of upgraded and became a more significant part of your life. But like back when you did the teleseminar series with Merlin, what was your life and business like before really learning email marketing and profiting from it, right? Learning it and doing it to a degree that made a difference. Like how did that shift happen, or how did that impact your life when you went from normal business owner to email list business owner? What types of problems did that solve for you? What types of freedoms did it give you? Like, how did your life change before and after having an email list, not that you bought, that you built, created, and curated, that was directly connected to you and wanted to hear what you had to say? Like, how did that change your life? How did things shift?
Well, okay, so I mean, so first of all, you mentioned not that you bought. Like I, before that, from 2000 to 2004, so I did have another company that we would buy lists and mail them, and we would mail something like 6 or 7 million people a day, and
And this is when spam laws were radically different or non-existent, right?
non-existent,
Non-existent.
non-existent.
Yeah.
And uh, I would say the results that we got from that were equal to about a 10,000 email list of people that are well engaged. So that's why spam is because you're mailing to a million people to get the results that you could get from 5,000 just to get to those 5,000. So,
right.
And that's why that's not good. So but I hadn't been doing that for a few years. I'd kind of given up on email even because I was so used to being able to push a button and that money would come and what have you, and things changed. So yeah, how did it? I didn't have a business. I mean, really, I didn't have a business before that. I had that other business, but then I was looking for income. So I was trying to figure out how to make money online. I think I was in a network marketing thing actually with Merlin. We were in a network marketing thing where they would, they said, "Hey, go on Google and advertise and then call the person on the phone." And that didn't make sense to the two of us because we were kind of learning about internet marketing and stuff like that. I was like, why don't we go to Google and advertise and send them into, they didn't call it a funnel back then, but send them into
Build an email
an
list.
opt-in page and
Right.
and have them go through a funnel process. And we did okay with that, but that's network marketing. Meh. So we were wanting to build our own, affiliate marketing, to make more of the direct money and not have to rely on other people. The that's it changed from me having a business, not having a business of my own, to having a business of my own again. The I liked it when I would go to conferences and people would recognize me, or they'd have been on my list, and but they know you know what I mean? And they're thanking you for, oh, hey, I learned such, I really like your personality on the teleseminar, or I learned this and that from, Yannick Silver or whoever. And so that's good. Like that's why I got into internet marketing, was to actually help. That was the whole idea of the 12-week intensive, was to help other people learn how to make money online. And I'm going to learn it. I'm going to learn it in the process. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to disassociate email marketing with online marketing, or with anything nowadays. I have played with other things that I thought would be similar enough to email marketing, SMS, pop-ups, things like that, where I thought, and they were for a little while. Like I did
For a
pop-ups.
little while. Yeah.
I did pop-ups, and it got better results. Like the people that opted in to be popped up I'm talking about the push notification.
Push notifications.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not pop-ups. Push notifications. So they opted into my push notification for 6 months. That was like a better result than I was getting from my email list. Not the number. I didn't have that many people on my push list, but the percentage of the conversion rates and the click through rates and stuff like that. And then people got sick of that.
Right.
And people. email is not the same as it was, but the way to fix that is by building, by them knowing who you are.
Yeah.
You can't, you don't want to be too spammy.
Yeah, well, email is the kind of primary foundational bedrock of your communication with them. But then then you're going to integrate in all these other mediums, right? Right now, everybody's on the list, and everybody will get an email with a link to these videos. But at the same time, we're also pushing out right now to Facebook, to Twitter, to YouTube, to LinkedIn, and to Twitch. This is my first Twitch live stream today. And so, and then you can do teleseminars, you can do events, you can do challenges, there's all sorts of, you can have an affiliate program, you can have community meetup groups. There are lots of different, or Zoom groups, lots of different things you can do to connect with people. Why do you think email has stood the test of time? Why do you think that email is still such a effective and kind of like mission critical element to the business that people keep coming back to?
It must be because people treat their email inbox more seriously, or place more importance on their email inbox than they do. I mean, everything else is temporary, I guess. I mean, not that the email isn't temporary, but it does go in an inbox, and unless you delete it, it's still going to be there.
Right.
Unless you read it, it remains unread. Facebook Messenger just scrolls on by, and maybe I'll catch one and get in a conversation, but then that conversation's done, and there's more scrolling by. I haven't given it a ton of thought. It just, I mean, part of it is, well, it does continue to stand the test of time. I mentioned this this other technology that I'm playing with, where you put a pixel on your website, and you're able to collect the emails just from a visitor. So rather than and we won't get too deep into it, but I just did an analysis of using it on my site, and the numbers are very close to Facebook retargeting. So, I have to pay for every lead that comes in, but I'm tracking how many sales did this make. And P.S., in case it's not obvious, I take those emails and I put them on an email list, and I do a follow-up sequence with them that says, hey, you stopped by the website, but you left. It's kind of like a cart abandoned if you do it properly.
Right.
And by the way, I don't know if I'm being too technical or too advanced for what you intended on how email changed my life.
This is freestyle. Yeah.
But I'm really excited about that technology. I mean, I'm more excited about magic than I am about any technology right now. But anyway, but I have to think about how email is gonna be in that business as well. Not think about. I could talk about that in a second. But anyway, so I was really excited to look at the numbers. I'll be really honest, and I hope my wife never sees this, but I was hoping to look at the numbers, and I didn't make any sales from it. I don't have to worry about that. I can go back to just focusing on magic. I thought I was just going to be able to toss it aside, but the numbers are so good that I'm like, oh, I got to keep going on that business. It looks like it's going to really help.
I want to talk to you more about that. We really need to team up in some way.
Yeah.
It'd be good.
Yeah, we should. Well, anyway, before we run out of time, you are familiar with what should be in here, which is a deck of cards. It's not a trick. I do a trick where I say name the 4 suits, and then I pull out a bathing suit and a tuxedo suit. But this has a deck of cards in it. I want you to name. I flipped one card in here upside down. There's only one card upside down. I want you to name one card, any card in this deck.
Okay. The 9 of spades.
The 9 of spades. Okay. So I'm going to open this up very much right in front of us so that we don't go anywhere. And we're going to go until you see a card that is flipped over the other way. I believe you should see one now.
I do, in fact.
And your card again, your card again was?
The 9 of spades. Ta-da! Astounding. Amazing.
Magic.
Incredible. It's magic. Harris, before we wrap up, number one, guys, if you have any questions for Harris Fellman, please ask them in the comments below. and maybe we'll bring him on for another episode where we can address them.
Yeah.
Or maybe he'll just respond in the comments, or maybe I'll respond in the comments. But if you have questions for Harris or for me about email marketing and list building, ask or anything that was covered today, ask them in the comments below. Number one. Number two is, Harris, where can people go to check out your stuff?
So I'll go both directions with it because so trafficforme.com, spelled with words, not numbers. So trafficforme.com. That's and I would say 90% of our clients are make money online websites. So if you're not a make money online website, you may or may not be able to use that service, and that's totally fine. We do also have it in, we have a couple lists in health and fitness, Forex and investing, internet marketing, which sounds like the same thing as make money online, but it's not. Crypto, when that's going well, we have good lists for it. We used to have survival lists. I don't like that space, so I don't have them anymore. Personal development, that was the other one I was looking for. So personal development list as well. So anyway, if you have any of those types of businesses, we can send you some traffic, and especially if you have BizOp or make money online, we can send you a ton of traffic.
Have you ever tried, I'm sure you have you ever tried promoting an internet marketing offer or how to make money online offer to the crypto lists when the crypto market is failing?
Well, so I don't play with risk anymore. So if somebody would like to do that, I would recommend that they try it, but they don't. There's so much, we have so much traffic for them. They don't need to go outside of it. That nobody buys all of our traffic. No one person buys all of our traffic. Some of our biggest guys buy maybe a half of what's available or something like that. But so it's less expensive. The MMO is less expensive than the crypto, so it wouldn't be needed. And the other place you can find me, the other place you can find me is on Instagram, funnybaldguy.me, funnybaldguy.me, at funnybaldguy.me on Instagram. Or TikTok now, Telman. Telman has been telling me, I whined to him for years of talking about how to make a transition from this stuff, internet marketing stuff, email marketing, to performing. And it's actually .me. You have to put the .me after it. Unfortunately, I lost my doing marketing stuff, pushing too hard. I lost my funny bald guy. It has to be funny bald guy with a .me after it. But I started putting stuff up. I've done about, I don't know, 5 videos a week right now. I thought I was only going to be able to do 2 videos a week, but I've been doing about 5, and I really like it. I like, they're not great yet, by the way. They're just something, and I'm
glad you're doing them. I haven't seen them.
Yeah. There's so I've taken a lot of performances that I already did, but I've also went out and done street magic for the first time,
Cool.
which was way more like, first of all, I was super scared for years to do it. I don't know why. But then once I finally got out there, it was really tough to find people that spoke English. I live in Spain, and I went out on a day that was like everybody was off for holidays, and it was just like, oh my God, we spent 2 hours finding 3 sets of people that spoke English and were willing to be on camera for a magic trick. But I did it, and then now we have a better idea of how to do it, because since I perform 3 or 4 times a week at English comedy clubs, I could just say, hey, hang out afterwards and we can do a magic trick, and they're all English speakers, and I can't believe that, like, we tried it the other way first.
Right.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of those as well that'll be coming out.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for being on the first episode of How Email Changed My Life. And
oh shit.
That's great.
I wasn't ready.
And we'll talk to everybody soon. Guys, if you have special requests on future guests that you'd like to see on How Email Changed My Life, please enter them in the comments below. And Harris, really appreciate it. Follow Harris and go check out Traffic for Me, as well as funnybaldguy.me. And they both have me at the end.
Huh. Yeah, how weird, right?
Weird.
Yeah. And also, you can always reach out to me on Facebook at Harris Fellman, and I'll answer any questions. I'm a real person who answers real questions.
Real questions. That's it. All right. Rock and roll. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Harris, and we'll talk to you all super soon.
All right. Thanks for having me, Telman.
Toodaloo.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.